friends, and welcome back to the Miami Book Hub. Not just the Miami Book Hub, this is actually Chapter 2 of the South Florida Writers Roundtable. As you may recall, this is a regular feature where I get together with some friends from the South Florida Writers Association and, on occasion, some special guests to talk about writing and all that may entail. So it's a full program we have here for you today, but I'm going to start by allowing my co-hosts and guests to introduce themselves. And so I'll start with you, Amy.
Hi, I'm Nicole Naim, and I'm the president of the South Florida Writers Association.
Madam President,
Glad
thank you
to
for
be
being
with you.
here.
Thank
And
you.
to your right,
I'm Tabitha Rose. I'm the founder and publisher at Life to Paper Publishing.
thank you for being our special guest today, Tabitha. And last but not least,
Hi, I'm Ceci, CV Shaw, pen name. I'm an author, I'm a novelist, a poet, and I am the vice president and conference director for the moment for South Florida Writers Association.
how do you get all that on the business card?
Yeah,
we don't-
I left out 20 things.
Well, thank you all for being here. And let's just jump right in because we do have a lot to cover.
Yeah.
So as you know, we like to start our roundtable with a little look back and something we call previous chapter. And Ceci, you're going to lead us in that.
I am. So at the last South Florida Writers Association meeting, we had a guest, Andrea Askowitz. I don't know if you guys know her.
Yeah, she's
I've heard her.
fabulous. Mhm.
She's amazing. She's great. And she is the author of My Miserable, Lonely Lesbian Pregnancy.
Oh my.
It's not a great
There's a book I can
Title.
relate to.
And
She's hilarious.
she's also the host of the podcast Writing Class Radio. Her energy is, I mean, she's so animated, and she was so incredible during her presentation. The presentation was, putting yourself out there and creating a reliable narrator, right? Although some publishers like unreliable narrators too, but essentially what she was talking about was you should write about what you don't want to write about. That embarrassing thing, that thing that still gives you shame.
Right.
That
That's the
makes you
good
look-
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she basically said you should sound like an asshole. Because that's what's gonna, that's what people want. That's what readers
Quote,
want.
unquote.
Quote
Yeah.
unquote. She did say that.
People do want authenticity these days.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's
So
great.
she had us do a little exercise, and then she read her piece. She was really excited to read her piece, and then we were all like, "Whoa, okay, weren't expecting that type of thing,"
Yeah.
But it was great. It was great. She was great. Her energy is she's
Cool.
got such high animated energy. It was great.
One more reason to join the South Florida Writers Association, right? To be exposed to great guest speakers
Yes.
like that. And I guess her PowerPoint will even be available for members, right, on the back end. So become a member today and you'll learn more about her.
That's right.
Now,
Yeah.
you had a great event. Tell us more about
I
that.
did.
Yeah.
It was Tea Among the Witches. Miami-Dade Public Systems Library asked me if I would host, do a presentation on my book, The Spell, and that we could have a tea party, because I have done that with book clubs before.
Cool.
And it was a great turnout. It was about 26 people there, right?
Wow.
And
So
it was
good.
it was a lot of fun because I asked, it was all ladies. I asked the ladies, which I have never, I think I only were familiar with 4 or 5 of the ladies that were there,
Yeah.
right?
Great turnout.
Yeah. And so when I asked them to introduce themselves, I asked them to introduce themselves with their witch name.
Oh.
And they were not expecting that. I was actually not expecting that. I'm not sure where that came from. But it was
that.
great fun because they were like,
Yeah.
oh, and they had their
They
names
loved it.
really quick. They're like, I don't know where that came from.
Well, I want a witch name.
Wow.
You'll have a wizard name.
Wizard name, or wizards, right? One of those.
Yes.
What's your wizard name, Jay?
I'll have to think. I need now a third alter ego. So to be my wizard. I'll come up with that. I don't know.
You don't like Jennifer?
A Jennifer, if I could pronounce it. I think that's a good wizard name.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have to think about
We'll
that.
get back to you.
Yeah. So it was great. And they were so excited about their witch name, because they
really cool.
didn't know where it came from,
Very cool.
And we had Joe that had Jeralub.
Geralub. Yeah.
And it was such a cute name. It was like a cherub.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then
Was it recorded? Can people find it somewhere?
I don't think it was recorded.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they'll just
I
have to
don't
come
know if
to
we
your
have
next
permission to
live
do
event.
that.
Yeah.
No, I would love to do more of them, even
Let's
if it's
do it.
not at the library, because it was so much fun.
That's fine.
And yeah, I showed the trailer of the book, and they loved it, and they had questions. Some of the ladies there had been reading it, and one of them came up and asked me, about characters. So it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
I want to go to one, but you have to have Long Island iced teas as part of your tea club. Okay? Drink other teas. So I had a great month. There was a lot going on, as you all know. And I did my unboxing, which is an amazing experience. I know you've all been there.
Amazing.
I mean, that was honestly more exciting than when my kids were born. My kids were born, I was nervous. The book was just pure joy. And here it is, folks. I think I showed it at one of my previous episodes. We got it there.
Yeah.
I've got bookmarks going on. I got T-shirts. I'm like going to open up
A stand.
on my own
You need a stand.
Yeah, on the side of the palmetto.
I think so.
Can I show this off?
Yes, please. And
Yeah.
Ceci is the proud recipient of my first challenge coin for all her help with my book, your editing and writing the forward. So thank you, Ceci.
That was such an honor. Thank you.
It is. So listen, we got to move on unless you guys had something you wanted to throw in there for the past month. No, we're good.
My witch name was Violet for the record.
Tabitha, what would
Which I
your name
love.
be?
I have a witch name.
Oh, you do?
Oh, look.
It is Tabitha. That's
I
right.
think.
Yeah,
She
has
literally
one.
has a witch
built-in witch name, which is amazing.
You need to come up with a non-witch name now.
Yeah, exactly. Rebecca.
Okay,
So
Rebecca.
my one side of my Hungarian side of my family, when I was visiting there many, many years ago for the first time, I guess they were just meeting me for the first time. Someone forgot my name and started talking about me as Rebecca, and everyone looked,
That's
who's
it.
Rebecca? So since then, when I go there and I'm with that
That's
side
your
of the
name.
family, I'm Rebecca.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, Becca.
Okay, Becca.
All right, we're already like way over time because we're having too much
Yeah,
fun. So let's
I
move
love it.
on
I
to our
love it.
next segment, our main segment of the roundtable, and that is the hot topic. And there is no hotter topic these days than artificial intelligence, AI. It's hitting every aspect of society, every industry, and none more so than writing and publishing, right? And so it's controversial. You know, some people embrace it. Some people think it's evil. Most people probably fall somewhere in the middle, right? There are good elements. There are elements maybe you don't want to cross the line into. So let's talk about it. We'll start with Amy. What are your thoughts on AI? Amy?
Well, AI, I know as it comes to writers, it's very controversial. And I've seen a lot of writers come out recently with, Ceci and I have talked about it, the lawsuits that they're filing back at publishers about AI clauses and the contracts and things like this. And I kind of fall somewhere in the middle because I am very against using AI to write anything that should be coming from yourself, but using it as a tool, which I'm sure you guys are all going to agree, most people agree, using it as a tool is a super important way that you can write. So that's what I use it for. And I use it for random things, not writing, organization, research, astrology.
It's a personal assistant. It can do everything.
Yeah. So there's ways to use it responsibly, I think. And as it relates to writers, is the same applies. So that's where I fall.
By the way, full
generally.
disclosure, I
Yeah.
have my ChatGPT. I call her Patty, and she's listening, and she's going to chime in at the end of our conversation with thoughts of
I'm
her own.
excited.
can't
Yeah.
Are you ready for that, Patty?
Interesting.
Let's see.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, just a quick cameo. Use AI as a helper, not your ghostwriter. Think brainstorming, outlining, research leads. Never the final pros, and always check your publisher's rules and disclose if needed. Over to you, Amy and Ceci.
All right, thank you. That was very insightful.
Wow.
So she'll keep listening.
Scary.
And,
I know. It still freaks me
It
out.
is
Yeah.
freaky.
But
It's my
anyway.
first time hearing the AI like voice attached to ChatGPT, so that's it's the first time for me. You're also catching me at like a opportune time, I guess, because I've just started to. I've been telling everyone, so I've been talking about it because I just started to use Claude in the last 2 weeks. And I knew that once I was kind of hesitated to start because I knew once I started, I was going to like disappear into it.
Oh, it's addictive.
To kind of I need to learn it and understand it and see what it can do. And with that, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. And my niece was born last week. So
Congratulations to all.
truly where I was able to like see that, what it can do to help me as, an entrepreneur, I guess, was during that week when I was in the hospital with my sister, but I still had things to do.
Yeah.
And Claude was helping me. And it's interesting because I had someone working with me who you would think would have been that person to step in and say, hey, you're busy this week. What can I do to help? but it wasn't.
Ooh.
It was Claude. So it was like,
We'll never tell. We'll never tell.
Oh, maybe watch it.
it was Claude. It was Claude that was helping me. I was in the hospital, make website updates and keep, my task list on top of my task list and mark off what I'd done and ask me about things that were about to slip between the cracks, per se. So I just realized it's incredibly helpful. But, Patty mentioned ghostwriter. So I started as a ghostwriter. Okay. The first story I worked on was my grandmother's. And then, I started the company and proceeded to help, tell other people's stories, put them to paper. And in that experience, I think like what I needed to do my job was to spend time with people and hear them tell their stories in their voice. And their voice was what I was working so hard to capture. Like the way they tell it, exactly that originality. And with AI, I feel like the hard line I draw in, as a company policy is that, books cannot be in any way authored by AI.
Authored by, but AI assistance with proofreading or brainstorming or research is okay. How do you, because, sometimes those lines can be blurred. Where do you,
exactly
that's the thing. I suppose if the author, before submitting their manuscript to us, were going to ask AI to proof their, how would we know? I only have a few authors right now been kind of transparent about that, the use of AI, and are using it for many things. But they haven't, I think they trust our editorial team. They sort of hand off their manuscript to us at a point where, it's ready to go through the editorial pipeline, or some, need more help authoring. And that's when we step in and help with, sort of author coaching. But I don't see the need for AI to step in the editorial process because we have so many, steps from substantive to copy and line to proofing.
So that, I suppose, if it's an author that has a traditional publisher, that works. But there are many authors who don't. And maybe that is, a good solution for them. They may not be able to afford to hire a freelancer. So
that's
at least
true.
It's something. What's your experience, Ceci?
Well, this is pretty scary for authors, and especially if you want to be traditionally published or even, published through hybrid. And the problem begins with the fact that they don't know, they can't really prove if you use AI or not. But if there is a suspicion, you're screwed.
Right. Blacklisted.
And maybe you did not use AI. Maybe it was for research. But if they suspect that you did, that's it. So that's what happened to this author. He had a $2 million deal. Jerry found
Yeah, that was in the news.
Yeah. And what they said was, they couldn't prove that he used AI. One of the editors, I guess it was one of the acquiring editors, noticed something. They called him in for an interview. He convinced them that he didn't. And then another editor said, I'd like a second interview. His story changed. So, and what they said was, they didn't say, we proved that you used AI. What they said was that they were no longer able to authenticate how the manuscript evolved from origin to completion, and they pulled back his contract.
Interesting.
So if there's just suspicion, and right now all the agents and editors and publishers are on high alert.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're looking for any little thing because that's going to be on them at the end of the day. So, like, my advice, honestly, if you're want to be traditionally published or, for self-publishing, it's not, gonna, unless, reader says, oh, this is so AI, like, and they put it in a review or something. But don't even go near it. Like, I don't even want to go near it. Not even for you can research other ways. You don't have to. It's just that AI is very quick and very efficient.
Yeah.
But there's other ways to research. I mean, both books that I wrote, I did a lot of research. I did not use AI for either of them because it wasn't around. So you don't need it. It's just more efficient. When you go on Query Tracker, right, to send your query to a literary agent, that question is on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And it says, and it's changed. It's not now, did you use AI? It's now, was any part of this book or query package created by AI? Meaning your query letter too, because your query letter is what gets you in, right? So now you have AI doing a magnificent, incredible one. you know? So that's what readers want, right? They want the humanness
Yeah.
so that they can connect. And so this is just throwing everything off. But so what are you going to write in yes or no when you have this question when you're on Query Tracker, if you just used it for research?
Right, or comparable titles to find comparable
exactly.
titles.
Yeah.
Or
Does that
Why
count?
can't you say no? Like, because you didn't
if you say
write
no,
with it.
well, but maybe what they meant by it, you know, you kind of did. Maybe it was a little bit like it gets very confusing. The fact that you know, and if they prove it, and then they say you used AI, but you wrote no, but then later on you're like they're suspicious and they're like, well, I used it for research. And they're like, well, you said no, or I used it just for this, you know, phrase or for this scene or something.
It's a slippery slope.
Liar.
It's a
Yeah,
slippery slope,
it is.
but-
Yeah.
So it's pretty scary, and it's kind of sad what's happening. In my opinion, just don't even use another research mode because you don't want to get caught in that suspicion.
Right.
Well,
On the other hand, it's really helpful. Hey, Patty, nobody asked you. I'm sorry, never be rude to Patty.
It's so helpful.
Patty's chiming in.
It's absolutely helpful. It is helping us become a little lazier.
sense of humor. Patty has a sense of humor. What is happening?
Patty has something she wants to say. What is it, Patty?
Just a quick one. If you do use AI, even like just for research or brainstorming, just be clear with yourself and consistent in what you disclose. You know, document your process. Save your drafts, your notes, your version history, so your human fingerprint is evident. That way you're protected and transparent.
There
Good
you
point.
go. From AI herself. So you mentioned something that you're using it for your business. And I'm finding, as someone who's self-published and have created a business around that,
Your
that's where
author
it's been
business.
extraordinarily helpful.
Absolutely.
I would not have been able to do it, honestly.
Absolutely.
All the administrative tasks, just setting up the business, doing the copyright, doing a trademark. You know, she walked me through all of that without having to hire attorneys. Now, whether I did it correctly or not remains to be seen. But it's been extremely helpful just in terms of the business side of things. And I will admit, and I hate to say this because it does take jobs from graphic designers, but I use it a lot in creating graphics for my website. You know, when I was brainstorming cover designs, you know, to share with the designer that ultimately did the cover. They wanted to know, do you have any thoughts? I'm like, oh, well, let me turn to AI. Just, again, for brainstorming. And then it was ultimately made by a human.
Yeah.
I hope so. At least they said they were. But I find it really helpful on that side, even if you don't use it for writing.
Totally. Absolutely.
It's like everything else in life, you know. It's got its good, it's got its bad. People take advantage.
But it's here to stay, that's for sure.
So
Gotta learn how to live with it.
And can you imagine, as powerful as it is now, what it's going to be like in 5, 10? I mean,
that's kind of scary.
yeah.
And as it learns about you and your business too.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm finding.
Boy,
It's
it knows way
getting
too
to
much.
know me better and getting to know my needs and trying to be helpful. What's really crazy is that probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I was approached by a woman, of course, you know, let's have a conversation. And she starts to tell me her life story. And of course, you know, perfect life story. Like, that's our track. What an incredible life you lived. You know, I'd love to work on this with you. She said, no. I don't want to write about my life. I don't want a book about my life. I said, okay. She starts talking about the future and driverless cars and pretty much AI. And I said, like, clearly she wants to publish a YA fiction book, kind of dystopian. I said, I don't think I'm the right person to help you. And she said, no, you are. I said, no, this is really not what I do. And she insisted. I said, look, why don't we start? But let's set it up so if you're not happy, it's not working for me, we can just walk away. But I was sort of curious. So we started dreaming up these characters in the future because I'm pretty optimistic. I started to imagine like this future where we live kind of harmoniously and like, you know, AI, is genuine, you know, it is virtuous actually. And, you know, we haven't allowed it to be better than us because we haven't allowed it to be different from us. So what does that look like when that happens? Anyways, it was a really fulfilling experience that, you know, 5-6 years ago, that now what's happening in our world, I'm thinking back to this story. I'm thinking it's we're getting closer to that. We're getting closer to that,
Well,
right?
we do have driverless cars. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Waymos.
exactly.
I've been in one, completely freaked
Yeah.
out. Have you guys been in them?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Wow.
I'm looking
wow.
forward to my first robot. I really am.
Oh my
Bring
God.
it on. Bring it
really?
on. I'm an optimist about the future. So
It's
that's
incredible.
the worst that could happen. We destroy humanity. Life,
Start again.
life will go on. Maybe that's the best thing we could do
Right?
for the planet.
Circle of life. It's just, you know what I think about all the time? I think about the Jetsons.
Yes.
It's like,
Rush.
I mean, how many years ago? And like
Yeah.
they had all this, exactly. Yeah.
All right. We are
Yes.
totally right on time
We've
today.
gone. I knew we would. I
No,
knew
this
we
is a
would.
fascinating
Yeah.
topic.
It is.
Obviously, we
It
could
is.
talk about this for
I mean,
hours.
we have to
much.
talk about
So-
AI. We have.
We'll come back
Yeah.
to it. We'll come back
Yeah,
to it for
yeah.
sure.
That's-
But let's move on now to our next segment, Writer Spotlight. We don't want to miss the opportunity to highlight our well-deserving authors, and this one in particular, because he's a friend to all of us.
Yeah.
Ceci, who do we have?
We have Forrest Jones. Forrest Jones.
Look at that spine. He really likes to write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
commitment.
a big book.
So Forrest Jones is a South Florida Writers Association member. He wrote The Placebo Agenda. He's got another novel coming out soon, I hope. It's finished and it's called Uncovered. And it's okay. Let's talk a little bit about Forrest first, because we love Forrest. He's a journalist. He's an author. He's a writer. He writes media and finance, and things of that nature. But The Placebo Agenda, he wrote years after he was stationed in Venezuela. He was an international correspondent and journalist over there, and he interviewed Chavez in his home when he was in the middle of the candidacy before he was elected. And he got that opportunity, which he talks about. But being in Venezuela and watching the situation happening in Venezuela is what inspired him to write this book, which is right now, it is so relevant,
It is.
you know?
And it not just been other countries that are in the news today that he also writes about.
Yes, I'm going to get to that.
Yeah.
So what was so interesting, because I asked him when I interviewed him in my author showcase, what exactly inspired you to write the story? And he said, the Bolivian diplomat was asking the Peace Corps volunteers to keep an eye out on Cuban doctors that could be spies, right? So, and that inspired this whole incredible novel, right? Which I'm almost done with, but it's a big one.
That's impressive.
But it's incredible, and it's very well written, and it's very well edited. Super
Yeah.
impressive, yeah. So this links to Saudi Arabia, which he actually worked there for a few years for Aramco. Which is impressive, you know, it's a big enterprise, energy, chemical, oil. So his second book is called Uncovered. And like I said, it's finished. He's just putting, you know, the final little finishing touches and literary agents. It's about, you know, Saudi, but it does have a link with Venezuela. And again, two countries that are, you know, right now being talked about a lot. And they're standalone books. But it has the same protagonist. It's got a street brewer, which is the main character, and he's a main character in both books.
Yeah,
But
this
they're-
is a future movie for sure.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Very James Bond.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes. So if Books and Books in Coral Gables has a few signed copies, I would run. Because they're probably already gone. Like especially right now with all this Venezuela and you know all that going on. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And if people want, is the public able to view the podcast, or is that only for members?
Yes, you
Where can
can
they find
watch my interview of Author Showcase with Forrest Jones on the South Florida Writers Association YouTube channel.
Right.
And you can just Google that, South Florida Writers Association on YouTube, and you'll see that interview and others as well.
Yeah. I also interviewed Forrest here on the
Yes.
Miami Book
Yeah.
Club. That was episode 11. So go to my YouTube channel at j.adrianbetancourt, and you'll be able to find it there. So Forrest, keep up the great work. We can't wait to have you on to talk about your next book.
Love Forrest.
All right. We do love Forrest. All right.
He's
moving on again.
fantastic.
Now we're moving on to the craft.
Oh,
And this has nothing to do with
Yeah.
witchcraft, Ceci. This is about the craft of writing.
Nice. Good one. Yes.
So, Amy,
There
that
are
one's all
so
yours.
many great things, especially for writers, talking about writing from soul, not with AI. Sorry, Patty.
Still listening.
Yeah. So we do. It's all right. It's all good. She is not offended. This is the great thing about AI. They do not get offended. Anyway,
Because
so
they're not human.
right.
Sorry. Pat.
Ish. So First up, we have something coming up at the Westchester Regional Library on Saturday, August 22nd, that Ceci and I are going to be representing the South Florida Writers Association at, and it's called Unleash Your Book, a mini conference for aspiring authors. So it's really cool. It's like wherever you're at in the process, it brings you through from start to finish, even how to query, tips and tricks for publishing. So it's going to be a great event. I think it's going to fill out. So definitely hop onto the Miami-Dade Public Library website and register for that ASAP, because it will fill up.
I've done so already.
Right, exactly. And also another workshop for writers, it's going to be at Books and Books at Coral Gables with R.M. Romero. And she is just helping you bring your stories to life, a lot of what Tabitha does.
Amazing.
Yeah. So he took over Dana Swift's critique group at Books and Books.
Oh, cool.
Who did?
Romero.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah? Okay.
So, because we talked about Dana Swift in the last one.
Yeah.
Because she was doing her book presentation. I had mentioned she used to do the critique groups, and she had a large group.
Yeah.
And then when she moved to Texas, he took over.
That's fantastic.
Oh, okay, great.
Coincidentally, I have a character in my book named Romero, so there we go.
That's going to be
Romero all around.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be on August 24th at 6:30 at Books and Books.
Okay.
And a third one is going to be August 13th. It's an online workshop with Writers Digest University. So a lot of us turn to Writers Digest. It's an incredible resource. And it's called Connect with Your Audience Before You Get Published. So I think I am going to take this one because it talks about how you can write, in your Substack. And you have to engage with your audience well before you actually publish your book. So this is going to be a fantastic one. So I hope you all take advantage of that. And you can register at writersdigestuniversity.com.
Very cool.
All right.
Amazing.
And also in the craft, we talk about writing contests. So, Ceci, what do we have?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to start off with the South Florida Writers Association contest. That is due on August 29th, and that's only for members. And the theme is The Weight of Light.
The Weight of Light.
The Weight of Light is the theme for this month. Again, that's due at the end of the month.
That's heavy.
29th.
Yes, I know. It's heavy.
Bad joke.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah. Okay, so
But even Patty doesn't get it.
yeah, because
No, sorry.
that's okay.
That's hilarious.
This is creepy. keep going. Sorry, Patty. We love you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Farewell.
So Jitney Books, which is Mammy's own.
Yes, we love Jitney.
Books. Yes.
JJ Colagrande.
Yes.
Shout
So
out.
they just closed up a contest that just finished here. And they were so excited about it that they're gonna do it biannually now. So now there's another short story fiction contest that's due December 15th. So there's plenty of time.
Cool.
Plenty of time for you guys
yeah.
to put a story in there. 2,000 words max, and they pay. It's a paying price that you get for the first top three, and they just put out the short list for the previous contests.
That's awesome.
Awesome. That reminds me to reach out to him. I had such a lovely conversation with him at the book fair one year.
Oh, JJ's great.
Yeah.
And by the way, has also been on the program. So you
amazing.
can check out that conversation. I think it was episode 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very entertaining.
Amazing.
He is.
Great guy.
I have to meet him. I
and a
still have
great
not met
resource
him.
for South Florida, really.
Really?
We need
Okay.
to really support the JIT.
Yeah.
How come he hasn't asked to come speak for us?
Oh, I'll have to do
that's
that.
For if you
That's a
could
great idea.
connect
JJ,
us.
if you're watching,
JJ, we need you.
you're
Yeah.
invited
At the
to be a guest
association.
speaker at the South Florida Writers Association.
Yes, please.
That
We'll
would
connect.
be great. Jay, did you submit to that contest?
No, I didn't. I haven't had time. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to launch a book
Man,
here.
he's trying to get his book in the world.
We're good.
Well, I'm delighted to announce
Yep.
that I'm on the short list.
Yay!
Yay.
Congratulations. Congrats.
I'm not surprised.
Not shocking.
Okay, so we've got a really good contest. It's Book Pipelines 2026 Unpublished contest, and this is for any unpublished manuscript. And they have set aside $2,500 for 4 different categories: fiction and nonfiction, which is really good. And that is at the end of the month as well. Deadline is the 25th, but they have paid extended deadlines. And then Iowa Short Fiction Award. That one is really good. That's for short story collections. We got to let Joe Evans know. That one is the deadline is August 31st, and you get published by the University of Iowa, and you get royalties as well.
Fantastic.
Wow.
So, yeah,
All right.
really good.
Okay,
process going
that's
on
crazy.
There. No reason not to submit.
A lot of good things going on for writers, but then there's also just a lot going on in terms of Miami's literary community event calendar, right?
I'm gonna race through kind of fast.
Let's move on to the
Most
next
of these
chapter.
events, the next chapter. Most of these events are at our beloved Books and Books. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
These days. So
It's the heart of it.
yeah, we'll just get right to it. So there are a lot of book signing and author events there. We have Catherine Newman. She's releasing her novel Wreck. And that is on Thursday, August 20th at 7 p.m. And then on August 21st at 6:30. This one's at Books and Books in Coconut Grove, which does not get enough play. I love the Coconut Grove location.
The ladder, the book ladder.
Oh my God, so charming. Got to get some pictures on there.
It's a little tighter in there, but
good. Yeah, it's tight, but the loft is awesome for events. So they're going to have one Flavors Beneath the Canopy, an evening and after party with Oscar del Rivero, who is a Miami chef. So that's kind of, if you're a foodie, I highly recommend you do that one, which I will probably do. Right after my birthday. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Also, there is August 21st, A Conscious Love, an evening with Christian de la Huerta. And she is an author, spiritual teacher, and life coach. So that's another interesting one, stuff that I love. I know Ceci will be into that too. And that one's August 21st, to the 1st at 7 p.m. I can't, there's so many, I can't even get it all out. And then the Betsy series, which we've talked about before at the Betsy Hotel in Miami Beach. Really cool. Laura Lekos will be there on Sunday, August 30th at 4 p.m.
We have to get to the Betsy.
I know.
Do you ever
We're going to
since you
go.
Fly in from time to time, do you ever stay at the Betsy?
Never stayed at the Betsy. I mean, I lived here, but the Betsy was close to where I used to live at one point. I did approach them about doing something there, and
really
didn't end up, going forward in terms of that there as a venue, but it's still
Do something. Yeah, future for sure.
Yeah.
I want to stay there when Laura's there because I'm going to have her on the program, and it would be cool to just kind of get the full experience.
Okay,
So,
we're doing it. That's got to
done.
happen.
Yeah.
Done.
Let's do it.
I shall be done. I love it.
Yes, some of my authors, one in particular, her writing journey and her books began at the Betsy at a writing group that used to meet there.
There's history there. We have to get there.
And by the way, Jonathan Plutzik with the Betsy was on my program, one of the early episodes, along with Mitch Kaplan and Books and Books. They had a great conversation. They're good friends, hence the collaboration. So check out that episode if you want to learn more about the Betsy.
I love
Wow, so many good things.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Anyway, okay, well, back to Coral Gables, Books and Books, September 2nd. There's going to be a conversation with Thomas Zwick for his memoir, Falling into Place. And then a plug for the South Florida Writers, our monthly meeting, which will be September 7th. We're going to have guest speaker Grant Livingston, which will be storytelling in song. So to my knowledge, have not had anyone talk about songwriting. So it's going to workshop with us and how to write.
I love that.
Lyrics. Yeah. So you have to come back.
I may have to come back.
Yeah.
And Tabitha's got it.
And and that is,
Saving the
and
best
now
for last.
I'm saving the best for last. Is Tabitha has an event tomorrow?
Yes.
Which we'd love to hear about.
Yeah, it is the launch of a book called The Light Within the Walls by C.P. Handler. It's at Books and Books, Coral Gables, Tuesday, August 11th at 7 p.m. And this book is incredible. So CP worked in juvenile detention centers, juvenile prisons, some of the worst in the country, they say, as a social worker for these boys. And, a lot of these boys, the world's written off and are only seen by the worst thing they've ever done. And she shows us the human beings, and these are my words, the impossible circumstances in which they're born into, and fights incredibly hard to give them the tools they need to change their lives and be that like first and only trusted adult they've ever had.
Beautiful.
And this panel is going to be great. It's hosted by Kathy Claridge, and she's the founder of Exchange for Change. So they go into prisons and facilitate writing programs.
Oh.
And then on the panel, CP has two of the men who were
Oh, wow.
her,
Wow.
that she worked with in detention, who are now out in the
That's gonna
world
be
doing good things.
That is going to be so cool. And it's
know.
August 11th
That's tomorrow.
at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. Book
Tomorrow,
Coral
you never
Gables.
know when people
We're
are
going to be
viewing,
there.
so August 11th.
We'll be there. I can't wait. That's
Yeah.
such a beautiful event.
Yeah.
I know. I hope we get this out in time. Yeah.
And then we'll have Tabitha to tell us more about that and herself on this program later this week. She'll
Yes.
be my special guest. So we'll have a full half hour to talk about you.
I'm so excited. Well, not to talk about me, but to sit with you for
All
an
about
hour.
you. It's all about you. So there's so much to talk about. We don't obviously have the time to do it here, but the story continues, and people can find out more information online, right? So where should they go to learn more about all the great things that South Florida Writers Association?
SouthFloridaWriters.org.
Yeah.
Super easy. Yeah. All our calendar of events, upcoming things, and how to become a member and enjoy all the great benefits that being a member brings.
And if you want to learn more about the Miami Book Hub, not just this podcast, and I think I've already referenced several great guests that we've had and several amazing guests coming forward, but we also have the Miami Book Hub newsletter, which I just released the second edition of earlier this month. So make sure to check those out. Chock full of information. And the, what's it called? The Miami Book Hub column. So we always write a column that is published by our good friends here at Miami's Community Newspapers, recapping these episodes. So be on the lookout for a recap of this episode sometime early next week. So yeah, you can find all that information at www.3treasurespress.com. Right. So that's it, folks. We are nearing the end here. I'm going to give the final word to Amy, who is going to close us out with her quote of the roundtable.
The quote of the roundtable.
Quote unquote.
I thought this was a great one, obviously, because we're talking about AI, so it relates to authenticity. And it is, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment, by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I thought we have to just be, you got to be you.
Absolutely.
Patty. All right.
I turned Patty off. She was getting on my
Patty
nerves.
has left the chat.
She kept wanting to say something. I don't know if you noticed. But...
Left the building.
So Patty will be our
That's
next special
okay.
guest. We'll give her our own
Wow.
time.
All right. All right. That was wonderful. But
Great quote.
yes,
And,
stay true
yes.
to you guys.
Very
And you know,
fitting
the-
considering the AI discussion.
Yeah, it's
Just
perfect.
remember your
Yeah.
voice is the most, is the treasure, is
Your
the
voice
gold.
is the treasure,
The way
yes.
you share your story
Yeah.
or a story that's the best it
Exactly.
could possibly be.
No one can do it but you.
Right.
And the older I get, the more I embrace that idea.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
spend, like, I
Same.
think, your first part of your life trying to be something else, trying to be accepted in the world, and
Yeah.
wearing different roles and playing different roles, I should say. And the older I get, the more I just want to be myself and be authentic.
Getting
and
there.
I'm happier.
The mask
Yeah.
got heavy.
The mask gets
Yes.
I'm getting there too. I think enough life kind of, I don't want to say beats you down, but in a way, like to the point that's like, okay,
Yeah.
just be me,
Yes.
you know?
It's easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, folks, I hope you've learned a thing or two today. Remember to be yourself. And remember to like, subscribe, share this podcast, the newsletter, all the good things that we're putting out there. Please keep tuning in. And I want to thank my guest for being here today. My guest / host, I don't know what we are anymore, but Amy, Tabitha, Ceci, thank you for being here for
Thank
all
you so
your
much for having
insightful
me.
discussions. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
And again, more to come with Tabitha. So it's Tabitha.
It's okay. That's my witch name,
rubbing
maybe.
off on here.
I'm sorry.
Tabitha's my witch name.
Lord. I want to thank our partners in this endeavor, Miami's Community Newspapers, for producing the program. Special thanks to Anzoni back there behind the screens. He's amazing. And again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Until next time, keep reading, keep writing, and stay curious, Miami.